We're back to this again. Okami is finished, and I'm kind of sad, because I really did like Okami. On the other hand, though, it really started having some weird ideas on... It started having some really weird ideas on level design towards the end. Okami was great when it wasn't trying to be a video game. It was perfectly fine when it didn't try to be difficult. Oh, man, I feel so stupid about not putting the microphone on. But, you know what to say, you live, you learn. I'm sad this game is coming to a close. I mean, I sit here and like, I don't want to do this. But part of it is, I just don't want to. But isn't that just the... Not really. Similar though they look. I do like this big, strange intro. I always like it when going through a portal involves a bunch of like weird streaks of things. Also, this game never actually breaks the fourth wall. I'm kind of glad of it. It's one thing I haven't mentioned because it's one of those juice things. Or oil. No, it's oil. Juice you notice, oil you don't. It's oil. This game could have easily done more with the fourth wall. It could have done one of them Doki Doki things, but it didn't. And I feel that's refreshing because everyone does the fourth wall thing. I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm like, it's obvious, like they should have done that, like where you break the timeline. But no, it kept... Kudos for that. Like, for every bit of shit I've given it, at least it's not done that. At least it's not fallen back on that cliche. Because that's the kind of cliche you really can only do some deconstructionist things with before it's just like, ugh. Oh, I just noticed that's supposed to be two ends. I like how we both went to work, and then you just stick your head in. It's like, okay, slight problem. The sentence structure implies you're both doing the same thing, and then you just sort of stick your head in for no reason. Wouldn't the water be super murky at this point? So, the problem I have with the scene is it doesn't establish whether or not the hole is... Like, is this hole directly into water, or are you just looking through the surface? Because I think it's gotta imply you stick your head in, you know. Ah, that's one of those situations where, yeah. Yeah, you've been out of water for a while, haven't you? This is not the song to be playing right now. Also, how does Maverick know this will work? Like, you're a human, right? You have different anatomy. What are the odds that you would breathe out an oxygen mixture that is A, sufficient to fill his lungs to any extent, and B, isn't gonna somehow make him uncomfortable? I don't know, man. I mean, I don't even think humans can do that. Wouldn't it be more interesting if your character was like, get a straw, and then Izumi's like, I have my supersonic space straw. And one of the items you have to get is a fucking straw, which makes more sense than some of the items you're supposed to get. The good ending is you give Bryce a fucking straw. Sip. Well, actually, we do know how long he's been underwater. Because the explosion caused it. And we were there. So I'm just gonna say, who knows how long he's been without air. Man. I can't imagine this being a comfortable circumstance under which to breathe, because exhaling comes with its own downside underwater. Ugh. I can't imagine that this process is going to leave Bryce with anything like, your breath smells like ass! I could taste ass! And it's like, well, Bryce, you were the one who invited me. That'd be great. Wouldn't it be fucking great if, like, one of them is like, oh, I gotta say, your breath's a little bit... Changing it a little bit, it's like, we gotta get out of here before the... Let's get out of here before the water, before the soil goes away from all that water. I don't know, it's a little bit harder to translate the empty water pockets. It feels a bit like a clumsy sentence, a little like, ow, this water, there's just shit going on. The ground's not safe, I don't know. Bubbles! Bubble, bubble. I love this. I just love this. You steal his fucking gun. Oh yeah, that's a good point. But why would you trust him? Why would you do this? I mean, I understand the point, but the thing that gets me about this is you take his ammo, which we would only know to take if you know they speak the truth, which you don't quite yet. I guess it's implied that since this is a good ending, timeline's already gone a little bit boo, which would be cool. Like, there should have been a more, like, definitive moment of, like, yeah, shit's weird. Shit's just weird. Like, just have an end... Like, I said the fourth wall thing, it would have been nice if there was an ending where your character just straight up does something and it doesn't make sense. Because even as a good ending, it's like, how would you know that? That's the good ending itself. And you're like, I'm not asking questions anymore. And it just goes, pop, 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 pop. Why wouldn't you do this, though? Like, Bryce would probably just damage it, if anything. Especially with those giant meat claws and that big, sharp mouth. Does Bryce even know how to operate a zipper? Gasp. Yeah, that doesn't work very well. I don't think gasp is something you can translate too well. I mean, I know this one, slakte. There we go. Also, I would like to point out that I don't think Maverick is particularly, like, upset over this whole situation when it comes to Reza. I mean, Maverick has a good point. Like, he has reason to be angry. Like, she killed them for a reason that goes over most people's heads. Like, even the player character's probably like, what? Wow. Like, Maverick is going to get fucking fired over this. Yeah, I think this, if anything, just points out Maverick is not cold and calculating. He's an emotional wreck who's trying to justify his actions. I mean, Maverick isn't even like, man, I was wrong about Reza, huh? Nope, doesn't give a shit. Oh, yeah. This doesn't make any sense. Like, wouldn't Azumi still know this? Oh well. It's kind of neat that these endings tie together, cross-pattern. It would be one thing if this ending, if like the bad ending is the Azumi is you ending or something. Man, there's a lot more to this good ending. It's a really nice ending though, because it really tries to wrap things up a bit more. Why would you know it was distinctly human? Wouldn't you say it wasn't? It distinctly wasn't a dragon? Yeah, I love this. It's specifically referencing Reza wouldn't. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't sound as good in Dutch though. Murder is in a hard labor. This is murder on me. I like how Azumi at this point just straight up says, yep, you know, like, it's always kind of, like, you called her the administrator before, and our characters like this. It makes me feel that the closer you get to the climax, the more you remember. Like, the closer you get to the part where you loop back, the stronger your memories become. That'd be kind of neat, because that would explain a lot of the weird things that happen. You could work with that. You could make it so that it scales up over time. Also, I just realized you can actually explain a future time travel. Like, if you want to do the same kind of story with time travel in a sequel, you can. You can just say that all this time travel has fucked up the timeline so fucking much that at certain places or certain people just get stuck in a loop, and they need to do something to fix it. Like, I don't know, maybe Izumi's brain pattern has imprinted this idea that everything needs to go right for the dragons. So there's this forced time loop. Or maybe it's just a fucking mistake and your character just ends up in the same place every time. Because logically, the ones where you go back are more likely to propagate. You need a good reason for the whole thing, but hey. I mean, Izumi's got a good reason. It's kind of weird that he brings a briefcase with him, though, because in this timeline he's somewhat more sympathetic. Why would he take the eggs? Wouldn't that endanger the mission? Anyway, we're going to stop off here, because Izumi's going to go on a big old tantrum. And, oh man, it's not been 100 lines, has it? Actually, it's been at least 100. I just don't want to do as much. I'm kind of lazy. I'm a whiny baby. Oh, that's a bad remember. Oh. I'm changing this a little bit, just to kind of emphasize what Izumi's mindset is. I do it so you stayed on the right path. Which could be metaphorical as, like, you stayed on the right path, ethically. Or you stayed on the right path as you did what needed to be done. And then she says what to do what needed to be done. To kind of hammer home that Izumi is, you know, it's great. So, this is a very annoying line. I know that English is not his first language. It's entirely possible that he was trying to say that who could have known that in time Reza can change. But sometimes, I'm going to go with sometimes, as in sometimes Reza would be a little bit different. And who could know that sometimes Reza could be a bit different? Oh, that's a fair point. I criticized this tactic, but this makes a lot of sense. You would have probably approached... Like, for one, you wouldn't know where he was. You wouldn't have a faintest fucking clue. Did she plant the bomb, though? Yeah, this just kind of points out that Izumi is a fucking idiot who doesn't want to try something radical. Like, it would be fine if she actually said, well, I tried it and it didn't fucking work. Like, I tried it multiple times. But nope. Anyway... next time, I guess Izumi gets fucked, because Maverick is a big fat liar. He's a big fat boy. And a liar. And a murderer. And with luck, he might just be the Emperor.